What's up, everybody? This is your boy Stephen J, and I'm here with Simply Steve, and we're talking about wrestling. WWE, WWF, UWF, AWA, ECW, WCW, maybe even a little bit of TNA. Let's kick it off right now. We're gonna start off the weekend just past, SummerSlams and Monday Night Raw. Personally, I thought SummerSlams was better than WrestleMania. That's my take on it. I'm gonna give SummerSlams an A, simply because there were some great matches. The match of the night, and I believe they stole the show like the Usos did in the last pay-per-view, was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. They stole the show. Followed by Dolph Ziggler and The Miz, followed by Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, followed by John Cena. Followed by John Cena, then of course Stephanie, then Paige and AJ.
Well, Swagger and Rusev
Was weak. That was the worst match of the night for me. Because, not only, I will talk about it, what I think they're going to try to do, but to me, like I've been saying since about January, there's no build-up. You didn't have a really good build-up. SummerSlams, America, barbecues, this, that, and the other. You thought Jack was going to come out with it or whatever. Again, I wouldn't have had it with Rusev losing. I would have had him end it with a draw. I would have had it draw, double disqualification. I would have had that they both wanted to get at each other so bad that the referee just got tired of it and he called a double DQ. And hey, they're able to push it on to the next pay-per-view. So let's kick it off with the pre-show. It was Sheamus. No, it was Cesaro
versus Rob Van Dam
versus RVD. Here is how many superstars were not in this pay-per-view. If WrestleMania is the granddaddy of them all, SummerSlam's got to be the grandson. It's basically the biggest. You got WrestleMania. That's your winter thing. You got SummerSlam. It's the summer. Then you got the Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. Survivor Series, a lot of people don't really consider that anymore. You got the Royal Rumble or whatever. But still, SummerSlams. But yet,
the big three.
Cesaro was not in SummerSlams. The pre-show doesn't account. Sheamus wasn't in SummerSlams. The Usos wasn't in SummerSlams. The Wyatts were not in SummerSlams. Big Show, Mark Henry, was not in SummerSlams. Even Dumb Leave wasn't in SummerSlams. You had so many great Goldust, they wasn't in it. So you left out. And the reason why, again, I've been saying this, is because you got one heavyweight title. You got to split the shows back up to have a feud. This person is fighting this. You got just one thing, and everything is resolved. That's why we stopped watching WWE and started watching WCW, because it was different. And then when they started getting repetitive and repeating everything all the time, then we started watching WWE, because they finally opened their eyes and started changing up things. And then when they went to the two brands, I thought that was a genius move, because it worked. You had guys feuding on SmackDown that wasn't necessarily feuding with guys on Raw. And then you had the Raw versus SmackDown pay-per-view. Loved it. They could have actually changed that into Survivor Series and it would have worked for it. But still, again, you had all these guys left out that didn't participate in SummerSlam. I mean, that's your biggest event after WrestleMania. And you didn't have your top guys there. I would say Alberto Del Rio, but he wasn't even in it even before scheduled for a match or anything like that. So, I don't know. Let's kick it off with the first match.
Dolph Ziggler and The Miz.
Again,
and Dolph Ziggler was successful and captured the Intercontinental Champion 2 times Intercontinental Champion.
I'm
so happy.
I like the match. The match was good. It had a lot of action in this match. They actually match up pretty well. I was actually very happy that Dolph Ziggler won the title. Again, I'm not feeling The Miz. He's just, to me, just too predictable, okay, this is what he's gonna say, really? That's how I felt about The Miz. I mean, I liked him as the must-see TV guy, but this whole Hollywood angle, stupid. But overall, I gave that match a B. It was really good. So to kick it off with the title changing hands on Dolph, because of me, I put it like this: no superstar since WrestleMania has worked harder than Dolph Ziggler, and that includes Daniel Bryan. Because Dolph was a main eventer, and somehow fell out of whatever. And he's worked his way up. I agree totally 100% with what Ric Flair said to him. Yo, man, you earned it. He has earned it.
All right. So then we had, like you said, Rusev defeating Swagger because Swagger fell unconscious.
Yeah. Again, it didn't work. Because you remember, let's do history. Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. Bret Hart put Stone Cold in a sharpshooter. Stone Cold refused to tap out, and he passed out. And the fans, appreciated Stone Cold, and they gave him a standing ovation as he got out, and he refused help and stuff like that. Again, this feud, the problem with the Swagger feud is Zed and Lana. If you can't have two managers both just talking and the wrestlers standing there doing nothing. I understand Jack doesn't have good mic skills. Lord knows what Rusev has. He got Krishna. We don't know what the heck he got. So I mean, but just to see, first of all, if you judge him by who the best is, and that's Paul Heyman, Lana and Zed fall way short of it. So the problem is those two, Zed and Lana, talk too much. Jack and Rusev had to sit there and listen, and there was no fighting. Just going at it. If they would have done what Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are doing, it would have been more hype, more, oh, I can't wait till this match happens. But they didn't do that. They went with the let the managers talk. Yeah, that's exactly right. What he said. Yeah, exactly. And then we walk away. Come on. The match was very disappointing for me. It was very disappointing.
Alright.
Come on, man. We in the middle of a show. And you getting texts and stuff.
And then we had, like you said, the match of the night for me. Seth Rollins beating Dean Ambrose in the lumberjack match.
I was glad that they didn't fight last month. And the show that they put on, again, they stole the show. I wasn't too sure. It was like a lumberjack match. He throws Seth out. Seth gets beat up. He throws Dean out. Dean gets beat up or whatever. That's what I expected. It to be just normal run-of-the-mill lumberjack match. But they took it to the next level. I dare say that they were ECW-like on SummerSlam and on Raw last night.
Their match on Raw was way better than last SummerSlam.
It was ECW like it was a great match that they got the lumberjacks involved and Dean Ambrose and Seth doing the dives and stuff like that. It was again, they stole the show. And here's the thing, like the Usos stole the show in that pay-per-view and nobody lived up to it. As far as afterwards, I gotta say that Randy Orton and Roman Reigns came close. I think, okay, Dolph Ziggler and The Miz set the stage. So let's make this be SummerSlam. It's the WrestleMania of summer. So Dolph Ziggler and The Miz started off and they set the stage. Bam, non-stop action, battle back and forth. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, they took it to the next level. So you would think that those guys coming after they'd be like this, and they'll take it up, and just keep going up to like, oh my God, this is the greatest of all time. But unfortunately, that did not happen. But again, that match was an A+ for me.
All right, so then, as I knew this was gonna happen, Bray Wyatt defeated Chris Jericho.
I forgot about that match. The match was okay. I still don't like it because I don't think they match up well. I just don't think Jericho matches up with Bray Wyatt. And again, I don't think that he still has his flavor that he had when he was battling John Cena.
Now, this interesting is their feud has gone the same exact way that it was with him and John Cena. Because Cena won the first match, Jericho won the first match, Wyatt won the second match, and he won it here again. So is Jericho going to win the third match, or is Wyatt going to win the third match?
No, when Jericho came, the Wyatt family attacked him. They fought at the pay-per-view. Jericho won.
Yes, I said Cena won the first match, Jericho won his first match, and then Wyatt won the second match, and he won again last night. So I'm saying, is Jericho going to win again?
I've been reported.
Or is Wyatt going to win? Because it looks like there's still maybe one more match between them before they're done with it.
To me, it was over.
I mean, because Jericho came out last night and it's like, you know, what's his name? Bray Wyatt don't got loyal fans like I got or something like that. So I was like, what, they're not done yet or something?
It may not be done, but we'll see. But I give that match a C. I give it, I still like when Bray Wyatt does his tarantula crawl or whatever. But come on, John Cena did the same thing. What is he doing? Kick him in the face. He's upside down. Kick him in the face.
Well, it's just weird when you got the guy laying down and then you turn around, you know, the crowd going like this. Yeah, I got this. You turn around, he's just like, what?
Yeah, no.
Anyway, so surprisingly, though, this next match, it was pretty good. Okay, Stephanie defeated Brie Bella. I'm gonna say it was a pretty good. Okay.
I'll give it a C.
It was okay.
There was a lot of mistakes. And maybe it's because Stephanie has not been in the ring for 10 years.
But she did pretty okay for herself.
I will say the one move where Brie looks like she was going to dive out of the ring and Stephanie grabbed her and choked her on a rope or whatever. Excellent move. But the match was a C. I'm trying to think. The whole part where Brie is now going to be feuding with her sister.
The excuse that she gave yesterday about the reason why she turned on her sister was so dumb.
I didn't hear it. What she said?
She basically like, it's her whole life. It's always been about Brie this, Brie that.
Oh my God.
Brie always gets the attention.
Isn't that what Matt said about Jeff? Isn't that what Sean said about what's the name? Every time a tag team breaks up, that's what the other person says. It's your typical run of the mill. It's always been about you. Isn't that what Seth said? He says, I was the one in charge. I did this. It's about me now.
I figured she was gonna say something like, you quit, you left me here in the WWE by myself. I was getting punished for what you did, all this and that. Not because when we were kids, I used to get in trouble because of something you did. You got away with it. You remember you broke that lamp? I got beaten for it. I was like, that's so stupid.
I didn't care. Didn't see it.
Alright, Roman Reigns defeated Randy Orton.
Great match. I'm gonna give that match a B+. It started off slow for me. I gotta give Randy Orton, I don't know how old Randy Orton is, but dude is still at the top of his game right now. He's still at the top of his game. I really thought, the match could have gone anyway, and I think the fans would have been satisfied if Randy Orton would have won, because
I see a lot more people cheering for Randy Orton now.
Yeah, he put on a performance because the Legend Killer's coming back. We don't know it. Watch, the Legend Killer's coming back. So, and I've been saying that. I like the Legend Killer. He said it last night to Ric Flair. I also was known as the Legend Killer. So
then we get to the main event. Brock Lesnar versus John.
Main event? You forgot Paige and AJ.
Oh, I did skip that. Well, Paige won. The match was, I guess, kind of going back and forth for a little while. and AJ was putting in the Black Widow until she reversed in some kind of DDT. And
Did they do a what's the name? CM Punk chant? I know they did it last night.
I'm not sure if they did it on SummerSlam, but I know they did it last night.
They shut off the CM Punk chant and started playing the music when they started saying CM Punk. So we go to the main event.
Okay, wait, before I gotta say something else. You know how you said if AJ had learned when a CM Punk's move, it would have been hot? Okay, that's basically what they did for. If AJ does that, it'll be good because obviously Brie Bella learned the yes lock from Daniel Bryan, and when she was doing it, everyone was like, "Oh snap, she's doing the yes lock, she's doing the yes lock, she's doing the yes lock." So I'm thinking, you know, maybe she should be trying GTS or the Anaconda Device or the elbow off the top rope or something. I mean, if they're gonna be chanting CM Punk, she might as well learn one of his moves. That's all I got to say about that. Then, of course, like I said, we get to the main event: Brock Lesnar versus John Cena.
The fact that I don't even know what 30 seconds he hit him with the F5, and I loved it.
After that, he was basically on his back in the match.
Loved it. I pretty much thought that. Okay, Brock dominated. It's the whole Hulk Hogan syndrome. Hulk Hogan always gets beat up for 35 minutes, and then I was waiting because Jerry King kept saying it. You know, Cena always comes back. His rally, he does the rally. Don't ever count him out. Cena had his rally and this, that, and the other. But I love the way Brock beat him down, MMA style.
Remember, he kept asking the referee, ask him, do you want to quit? Ask him, do you want to quit? And Cena was like, no, I don't want to quit.
What I didn't like was that Paul Heyman on Monday night is going to try to sell, oh, John Cena's the greatest champion, whatever, whatever.
I'll say it like this. John Cena on Monday night said we was going to go in, we was going to see a fight. We saw John Cena get beat down.
He got raped.
I mean, it was so bad. It took 2 F5s to take him down. So, while it took 3 F5s to take down The Undertaker.
Hey, in the words of Mr. Funk, the Funkadactyl, or Funkadillus, or Funkadinosaur, or whatever you call him, Brodus Clay, somebody need to call John Cena's mama. Because he got his behind funked up.
Well,
funked up.
He'll be on Raw next week to talk about it.
And if he comes out with some lame excuse like he did after he lost to The Rock, I blame myself. I tried to focus on everything he did, and I just blame myself. I should have beat you. I could beat you, and I just was off my game, and you can't beat me. Shut up. That's all I gotta say. You got your behind whipped.
Maybe next week he's gonna come out and he's gonna say, ain't no excuses. Maybe he finally gonna get what we want. I don't know.
Get what?
Him going heel.
Him going heel?
Yeah.
We'll see.
We thought it was gonna happen on Bray Wyatt.
Let me just say this.
We thought it was gonna happen on Bray Wyatt.
I love the fact that after the match, the people stood up. When John Cena lost, the people was like this. Yes.
Okay. You know they did. And some people were like this.
Nobody was like that.
Some people were.
No, they found one woman who was like that. That's it. Some woman and some kid. Oh, my hero. Shut up. They found one person who was like that. Everybody else, 99.9% of the people in that arena stood up and clapped and even said Lesnar, Lesnar, Lesnar. They was calling his name because they was like, yes, finally somebody beat him and beat him bad, embarrassed him in every possible way. And so I guess if he comes out on SmackDown or if he comes out on Raw, he's definitely going to get the chant of Cena sucks. He's definitely going to get the chant of you can't wrestle. He's going to get every chance or whatever. So I personally, when he got F5 again, I thought Brock number one was gonna do Eddie Guerrero because he hit him with like so many German suplex, also known as belly to backs suplex, but a couple of those times Cena's like went really hard on his neck or whatever, but still he got thrown like, and he just didn't get thrown, he got through far, like to the other opposite side of the ring. That's how strong Brock Lesnar is or whatever. But I loved it. I'm glad Cena lost. Hopefully he retires now and goes away.
He ain't gonna retire.
Because he wants to try to.
He never gives up.
Because it's not about him. He wants to beat Ric Flair's record.
That's what's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen. Hulk Hogan said it. Ric Flair has said it. Greatest WWE superstar of all time. Greatest WWE champion of all time. They've said it, and I think maybe even Shawn Michaels may have said it.
Let's answer that, because Paul Heyman brought it up on Monday Night Raw. So let's talk about that. Is John Cena the greatest WWE champion of all time? No, he is not.
I'm thinking they're saying that because of how many championships he's won.
No, they're not saying that. Paul Heyman said for 10 years he's been at the top of this business or whatever.
True.
And he brought up The Rock for about 3 to 4 years. He brought up Stone Cold about 3 to 4 to 5 years, whatever. He's not. Let's look at why The Rock was only there for as long as he was. The Rock, they discovered that, this cat is bigger than wrestling right now. That's why he left. Stone Cold, obviously he had to leave because of injuries, but at the same time, Hulk Hogan transcended wrestling, meaning, and they tried to bring John Cena to, let's make him like The Rock. He sucked as an actor. His movies sucked. If that's all you got, that's all you got that you wrestle. So it ain't like, he stuck with it and he was at the top of his game. Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair was in the game and lasted long. So John Cena to me is not the greatest. If I add the factors of why The Rock left, is because he can make a lot more money in movies, and he has proven that he's very versatile, walks in versatility as far as his ability within the ring, his mic skills and his acting skills, and to be able to draw. So no, if that aspect, again, if Stone Cold didn't get hurt, if The Rock couldn't act, if Triple H didn't marry Stephanie, I guarantee you, and Mr. McMahon, I guarantee you, John Cena, like everyone knows, would be a mid-card. He would be a high mid-card. He may have some good main events on Raw, maybe even carry a main event in one of the pay-per-views. But again, if The Rock was still there, Stone Cold was still there, Shawn Michaels was still there, no, please, don't give me that.
Well, Shawn left because he basically was like, there's nothing else for me to do.
Shawn was old and broken up.
I've done everything there is to do. He said the reason why he's not coming back, like how some legends come back from one more match, he said he doesn't need to do that because he's done everything there is to do.
He did come back. He came back for The Undertaker.
I'm talking about after WrestleMania 26. He said there's no reason for him to come back and wrestle one more match because he's done everything there is to do. There's nothing else for him to prove. He's done everything, been through everything, so there's nothing else. Mm-hmm. That's why he left. So
again, that's my dispute that John Cena is not.
Well, that's what Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair feel. They feel that he's a greater WWE champion, obviously, than them.
Okay, if that's the case, then what about Sting? Come on. Sting's been in business for long. Kurt Angle been in business as long as John Cena. I mean, you think about it, unfortunately, John Cena has... It's a rarity that you find a Rock Stone Cold type of thing, where you just got two guys that command so much attention. Stone Cold started it off, and then The Rock rose up and surpassed him. You had in WCW, you had Ric Flair, top guy. Sting rose up. Then of course Hogan got there, whatever, where you have so many just top guys battling for position and the limelight and stuff like that. Unfortunately, if you think about it, after John Cena was a doctor of thugonomics and they started with the stupid spinning belts or whatever, who else technically would have stepped up? Would John Cena be where he's at if Chris Benoit hadn't gone berserk? If Eddie Guerrero hadn't died? That's a question. Would John Cena have been that? So who else was gonna
see here.
Push it to? Triple H was hurt for a bit of that. The Undertaker was part-time Brock wasn't there.
Undertaker wasn't part-time. He was just...
Undertaker was part-time. He didn't wrestle every Monday. He didn't wrestle every Friday.
Back when he used to wrestle all the time, he was on SmackDown. SmackDown guys weren't allowed on Raw.
Okay, but he didn't wrestle a lot on SmackDown.
John Cena was the top guy on Raw. Undertaker was the top guy on SmackDown.
And again, I mention Edge. Edge. So again, I say no to what Paul.
He does admit that him and John Cena did have some great rivalries. So
I say no to what Paul Heyman said. But overall, again, I give SummerSlam. I give it an A because there was like 3 great matches, and John Cena lost.
All right. So Raw started off with Daniel Bryan's music, and at first I was like, why does Daniel Bryan need to be here? There's no need for him to be here.
I actually thought he was going to come out when Paul and Brock were talking.
But it turned out to be Stephanie, who had a shirt on, new shirt, saying Steph, 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 and her doing her little yes thing, mimicking Daniel Bryan, whatever like that. And, she mentions everything that happened. She called out Nikki. Nikki explained what she did. Brie came out. She was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? I love you. You're my sister. She got slapped and she left. So, that's pretty much what happened in their first segment of Raw. Then we had Mark Henry and the Big Show going against Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
Well, biggest tag team. And that surprisingly was a good match. And not from Mark Henry and Big Show's perspective, but from the Wyatt's perspective, how they matched up pretty well with it. The ending, the knockout punch with the
World's Strongest Slam.
That was pretty good.
Nice competition. All right. Then we had Natalya versus Paige. Natalya won after the distraction from AJ. And AJ tried to attack her, but Paige escaped. So they're still going on with this feud because I guess that's the only feud in the Divas division that really matters. Then we had the championship presentation where Triple H and Stephanie revealed the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And it basically looked like the old belt with just the new logo on it.
I didn't like the belt. It was ugly. It had no... First of all, again, so obviously they retired the WCW title, the World Heavyweight Champion. I still think that's the greatest looking title because it just exuberates elegance that it's like, even when that belt has been around for like forever, and it just, it says when you wear that belt, wow, I'm a heavyweight champion. When you looked at WWF first World Heavyweight title, Hulk Hogan, that belt was like so small. Then it started getting bigger. I think it was maybe around the time when Shawn Michaels had it. It was pretty big, but it never compared to WCW's title. Ric Flair. I call it Ric Flair's belt. I remember when Ric Flair came to the WWE, and he was known as the real world champion when he faced Hulk Hogan. So again, that belt has always, I don't like it because again, they're going to single brand, and it's just not the right way. It's not best for business.
Well, after that, pretty much Paul Heyman pretty much just laid it out on there. Basically like, Brock's the champ. Anybody who go up against Brock, your career is gonna end. Pretty much say that every time he said, haven't seen her or heard from the Undertaker since then. Since Brock beat him bad, had to go to the hospital. Cena's not here because he physically can't be here. He'll be here next week. All that stuff. So,
what?
I'm saying what Paul Heyman was talking about.
Wow. Yeah, Paul Heyman, I will have to say, he is one of the greatest managers.
Brockonomics.
Which was trending worldwide last night. Is one of the greatest managers, but his mic skills are far none. They rival that of The Rock's. Not probably as good as The Rock's, but they make you like, yeah. It's like you're sitting there like, listen, Paul Heyman's like, yeah, he did. Everything he said I liked, except for when he was giving praise to John Cena like being the greatest, and Brock just had look like, what you doing, man? So
I remember the last name. He was just like, say my name again. Look when you say that. That was funny. Then we had the Intercontinental Championship rematch. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. The Miz won by count out. Dolph Ziggler kind of hurt his leg or whatever like that, but he retained.
I did not understand this. The way it ended. I didn't understand the way it ended.
Well,
it was
the referee
stupid.
was counting, and Dolph Ziggler kicked him in the face, and so the Miz rolled back in the ring somehow, and he fell off. But he's still the champion, so I guess that's all that matters.
The match wasn't as good as the previous SummerSlam match, so that's my take on it.
So then we had Jack Swagger versus Cesaro, and Cesaro ended up winning.
I'm tired of seeing
the new Santino and Fandango match.
I never saw that. Oh, yeah, I'm tired of seeing. So is it true that Santino retired?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm tired of seeing Jack and Jill fight. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I did like the fact that Paul Heyman said that John Cena could be a Paul Heyman guy. So if you look maybe in a couple weeks, you might just see John Cena come up with Paul Heyman. That'd be pretty good.
But wouldn't that also mean he'd be coming up with Brock Lesnar, the guy, teaming up with the guy who beat him up?
Yeah. Yeah, so he has to have an attitude, but there's right now nobody for him to feud with.
There really isn't.
Because it's Daniel Bryan's fault. Sorry, Adi. It's Daniel Bryan's fault.
Well, actually, me and him were talking about that, and he actually said it all revolves back around CM Punk quitting. Because Daniel Bryan, that whole Daniel Bryan winning the championship thing was not going to happen at WrestleMania. It was going to be Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. So by CM Punk quitting, it had to change everything up. So now, all right, we're going to put Daniel Bryan in with Triple H, and then he'll go to the championship.
No, that was going to happen anyway because everybody wanted to see Daniel Bryan face Triple H.
Okay, well, true, but,
that was going to happen anyway.
It wasn't going to happen at WrestleMania.
It's kind of like we wanted Stone Cold to stun Mr. McMahon. It's something that everybody wanted to see Daniel Bryan get at Triple H.
Well, he's already got Triple H.
CM Punk threw a wrench in it. I will give you that. He threw a wrench in it when he quit, but he quit in January. Daniel Bryan had already been scheduled to win the heavyweight championship. We knew he was going to win it. He was going to be the face of the company per se, even though John Cena is. He was going to be the face of the company. John Cena would have been down here, and basically he would have still been feuding with Bray Wyatt. Roman Reigns would have been right here, possibly feuding with John Cena. Then you got Dean and Seth, their little thing going on, so it still would have worked out where potential, maybe by SummerSlam, you could have had a John Cena, Daniel Bryan #2, or Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, or something like that, or Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. So I can't go with you on that for the simple fact that Punk quit in January. Everybody knew that Punk was quitting in December. So it's not like
he needed one last straw. Him getting taken out the Royal Rumble the way he did.
Who?
Punk, because he was in the Final Four before King came back into the Royal Rumble and eliminated him, and then stuff happened in the back, and that's when he left.
What happened in the back?
I don't know. There was just some. I read the tension in the back, and he left.
Okay, but my point is, they knew he was leaving, so they still had a plan, a 6-month plan. That this is what's going to happen, this is what we're going to do with Daniel Bryan as the head and fighting, whatever, as our fighting champion. Okay. He got hurt.
You're saying he screwed up, but
Punk threw a little wrench in there. But because they had prior knowledge that we can't, we'll do a plan with him in it. If he stays, it's good. But we have to make a contingency plan just in case he's not going to be there. They had that contingency plan in place by January. Because it was already on record that Vince McMahon had been talking to CM Punk, trying to get him to re-sign and get him to change his mind, but he wasn't. So the contingency plan was already in place that this is what we're going to do, and we're going to let Daniel Bryan lead us. Daniel Bryan got hurt, threw a huge monkey wrench in the mix of it.
How many guys who have had won the championship had to leave? Let's see here. Batista got hurt when he won the world championship. He had to leave because he got hurt. Shawn Michaels got hurt when he had the championship, so he had to leave. I believe John Cena was hurt one time. And he had to leave.
got you. And I'm going to top what you just said. For the simple fact that when all those guys got hurt, you had somebody that can take the bull by the horns and run with it. To take the baton and run with it.
So they took John Cena?
No, they went back to Cena because they didn't have anybody else.
Okay.
Cena was supposed to continue to face Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was only up and up, and he was going up with his feud with Cena. Because Daniel Bryan got hurt, then you have to go back. Oh, but now we got to go back to Cena. That kind of messes up us getting Bray Wyatt over with the crowd and people getting on his side because we like how that's going. But those other people that got hurt, you obviously knew, okay, we can go to Edge now. We can go to Del Rio. We can go to this Shawn Michaels. We can go with Undertaker. We had so many people that we can give the reins to. Because Daniel Bryan got hurt, you had no choice but to go back to the Cena. Triple H is not going to be the champion. Randy Orton can't do it because it's like we're tired. The fans are tired of seeing Randy Orton. Batista, nobody wants to see him. Again, your only options were John Cena, were Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt. That is it. Reigns. Or Alberto Del Rio. Okay. Del Rio gets fired, who was on the downside anyway since he lost to John Cena. So the real only possibilities that you had was John Cena, Bray Wyatt, or Roman Reigns. And Randy Orton. Randy Orton wasn't going to work. Bray Wyatt, we need him more to feud with Cena. But since Daniel Bryan is hurt, we got to take him out of that equation and put Cena back at top. Roman Reigns, they feel as though he's good. He got a good upside, but he's not ready yet. I feel as though he couldn't be ready because, I mean, who's actually ready? You get thrown in the mist and you prove yourself and make yourself ready. They have no choice but to go with Cena.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all. I was just saying. That's what he said. He said it all really fell on Punk.
Maniacal Roar, aka Adi. I'm sorry, my friend, but you're wrong. His fault.
All right. So then we had Roman Reigns, RVD, and Sheamus versus Randy Orton in my back. So I didn't care about that match at all.
It actually turned out to be a pretty good match. What are you talking about?
Well, I was watching it.
Hold on.
But I accidentally kind of actually fell asleep on it.
I love the WWE universe. They were chanting "Feed Me More."
Oh, yeah, I did.
They were chanting Ryback rules, and he was feeding into it.
I think at this point now, you got to turn the guy back to the face.
He was feeding into it because he was like, yeah.
I did not hear him saying shut up. I did not hear him say shut up, quiet.
He was feeding into it, and you really thought that they were going to... see, that's the WWE. It's like the wind. You don't know which way it's going to be blowing, but whenever it's blowing, you just going to have to ride with it for that thing. And ride back, it kind of makes you like wonder, maybe we should possibly turn him back to face because, you know, the fans are with him. So I'm going to make a prediction right now. It's August. By what's the next major one will be the Royal Rumble or SummerSlam. Not SummerSlam, the Royal Rumble or no, the Royal Rumble is not till
Survivor Series?
That's not until Thanksgiving. So the next major one will be Survival Series. So look for Ryback by, if not the next pay-per-view, the one after that, to be back to his face. If, depending on Friday and Monday, how the crowd gives him a reaction.
Okay, then we had Usos versus Goldust and Stardust.
I still can't see Cody Rhodes doing what he's doing, but okay. They still don't have a name. I still think
you call him yesterday?
He called them Dust Brusters.
Oh, yeah.
Brusters, because they're brothers. I still like Dusty Rhodes.
Alright, so then Lana and Rusev are out here.
Oh, they should call them the Dust Storm. Dust Storm.
Alright, so Lana and Rusev are out talking, bragging about they beat Swagger. And Swagger let America down. And all of a sudden, out comes Mark Henry.
I loved it. First of all,
now all I gotta say is, Mark Henry, you better be the one to pin Rusev. That's all I gotta say. I don't want to wait.
When he came out, yo, Mark Henry is huge. I thought Rusev was huge because he looked big. Like, look, even though I think Swagger's taller, but he looked like more bigger than Swagger. But Mark Henry standing and looking at Rusev, Mark Henry looked like a daggone grizzly bear, and he's just towered over him. And why? But mad respect to Mark Henry, because he just put him in his place, inducted him into the Hall of Fame last night, and that was what's up. So obviously, it's possible that the feud between Swagger and Rusev might be over. Lana was sitting there like, oh, Mark. So, but I don't know, because
this could work, but I don't know. He's not like American.
Mark, well, yeah, he was in the Olympics, so I mean, it kind of makes him that. But I don't want it to mess up his tag team with the Big Show.
No,
because the tag team division needs.
They need to stay tag team.
The tag team division needs Big Show and Mark Henry to stay as a tag team right now. But I like the fact that he dropped him and then gave high fives to the King, Cole, and JBL last night. So that's what's up. I like that.
Then we finally had the Falls Count Anywhere match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Definitely.
That match was a match of the night. That match was good. I thought Dean Ambrose had it.
My question was, since it was Dean lost last night on Sunday, is the feud over? And then you saw the whole ice bucket challenge or whatever, and you thought, is it still going to continue? They said Dean's about to go make a movie. But I can see I can see where they were going with the whole brick that he's out injured and he's gonna be out for a while doing this movie or whatever thing. But then it's a way for them to keep the feud technically going on without it going on, because he's hurt and he's got to do his thing. So, because the question is, if he's going to do a movie, he's not going to be on TV a while. How is he gonna come back? Because here's the thing,
because that's all those two had each other.
Seth Rollins needs Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose needs Seth Rollins. So this is a way to continue the feud. So I guess maybe by Survivor Series, he'll be back and the feud can continue, whatever. But the two need each other. Unless Seth gets somebody else to feud with now, I don't know.
I'll admit he's had a great couple of few matches, with Dolph Ziggler and
that's
RVD.
What got Dolph Ziggler back on the match is with that match with Seth Rollins.
And RVD, he's had great matches with those guys, but him and
RVD is old. Sorry.
Him and Dean Ambrose match up pretty good with each other. Almost kind of similar styles, jumping up ropes and high flying moves and everything like that. My thing was why couldn't Dean Ambrose win the match and then get jumped by Kane and Seth Rollins? You're gonna take him out after the match.
Well, I guess they want Dean to still continue with his crazy Roddy Piper routine and come back. I guarantee if Seth Rollins is gonna try to cash in his title, Dean Ambrose is gonna be the one that comes out and ruins that. So that's how the feud is gonna continue to go back on, or unless, depending on how long this movie thing is, Dean can come back in a Royal Rumble. So again, who knows? We'll see.
All we know is this.
But I'll give Monday Night Raw a B.
All we know is this: Seth Rollins ain't cashing in that money to make anytime soon. Not with Brock Lesnar holding the title. That's all I got to say.
Well, the question is, who's gonna feud with Brock Lesnar?
What I saw was on Legion Party or actually Addy told me, he was like, there's no one really besides Cena, I guess, still, who can really feud with Brock Lesnar because nobody else is ready. You can do Cesaro, but he has to turn back face.
Cesaro technically was never a face.
Well, he was getting there. His swing, his King of Swing move was. They were cheering him while he was booing Swagger.
They were cheering him, but he technically was still a face with what's the name? Yeah, he had his thing, and I told you him going with Paul Heyman, although I liked the move, wasn't going to really work because nobody likes Paul Heyman. I think Roman Reigns is possible to feud with Brock Lesnar,
but they ain't gonna be till WrestleMania. because
It gonna be no WrestleMania. You talk about WrestleMania next year. You sound like The Rock.
I just saw the article. I read it yesterday. Vince McMahon and Triple H are kind of having a little dispute right now because Vince wants The Rock to face Brock Lesnar for the title, and Triple H wants Roman Reigns to face Brock Lesnar for the title at WrestleMania.
I think that Roman. See, here's the thing. In order to find out what somebody's gonna do with what they got, you gotta give them the ball. Opportunity knocks, and it all depends on how you answer the door when opportunity knocks. Are you gonna answer the door, or are you gonna let them keep knocking, or are you gonna let them walk away? When opportunity knocked for Shawn Michaels, yeah, he took the ball by the horns with the whole Bret Hart situation, and he did a great job with it. When The Rock, when they gave him the ball, at the same time that Stone Cold was at the top of his game, he took the ball, transcended Stone Cold. Same thing with Stone Cold. When they gave him the ball, he ran with it. Kurt Angle ran with it. John Cena ran with it. You can't say a guy isn't ready. I mean, think about it. A guy that, okay, you gave him the ball that wasn't ready. Jack Swagger, when he was World Heavyweight Champion, didn't do much with it. Dolph Ziggler, when he was World Heavyweight Champion, didn't do much with it. I don't think they gave him enough time, but he didn't do that much with it. Let's say Edge, when they gave him the title, Edge ran with it. Alberto Del Rio, when they gave him the title, he ran with it.
Okay, so
there's very few and far between guys that did not do anything with the title. Big Show, when he had the title, I can't say he dropped the ball, but he didn't do well as he should have done. Mark Henry, he got hurt.
When?
He got hurt.
When he was world champion?
Yes.
Okay.
Because after he lost to Big Show, he was out for like 6 months because he was hurt.
No, because I remember they had a match at the Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan, Big Show, and Mark Henry in a steel cage.
Mark Henry was hurt though.
But they still had the match.
He had the match, but he was ineffective in the match because he was hurt.
Okay, yeah, he was hurt. I'm just saying.
And after that, he was gone for like a few months. That's the problem. You get hurt, hey. But again, let's look at Mark Henry. You had Daniel Bryan that could run with it, and him and the Big Show was able to run with it. Again, we go back to what you said earlier. Daniel Bryan gets hurt. You had no other choice but to give it to John Cena to run with it because he threw a big monkey wrench in the whole thing.
All right, so who's feuding with Brock now?
My choice would be Roman Reigns. My choice would be Roman Reigns to feud with Brock Lesnar. I think. Then you could also have a triple. I don't want to see Cena anymore. I really don't. I really don't want to see John Cena and them feud back and forth or whatever.
Well,
because it just kind of cheapens everything.
Cena's gonna get the title back, and he's gonna tie it.
If Daniel Bryan is healthy, I would like to see Daniel Bryan feud with Brock Lesnar because they both have a grappling style, type of wrestling style, and I think that would work.
Well, Daniel Bryan said that his doctors and stuff, they don't know when he's coming back, and the earliest it looks like is around Royal Rumble time.
So
January.
Right now, as far as who can step up to the plate to feud with Brock Lesnar, I think Roman Reigns. But for some reason in the back of my head, I think that they're going to go with Randy Orton. And Randy Orton is going to turn back face.
Okay, I can see that because he's like mad, lost my opportunity. You took my opportunity away from me. Blaming Roman Reigns, but in reality, it was you who got the match, not me. So now I want to beat you and get the title. Okay, I can see that. Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar, I can see that. First time ever. All right.
So that's about it for what we're gonna do tonight for today. So Stephen J. Hold on for a second. Let me check because Adi. Your boy, he said something last week and he was like, talk about this. So let me just because he may say something now. So Adi, I'm looking to see if you're saying something now. Bear with me one moment. Upload. Let's see. What's up, everybody? He said it's not Daniel Bryan's fault. Laughing out loud, and I said yes it is. So Adi didn't say anything this week. I think the week before, he said, "What's up, everybody? It's your boy." Yeah, I'm gonna read what you said, Adi. You said, "I still disagree. I agree on some parts. Yes, the streak was a really big thing, but the fact the Undertaker wrestling and entertaining and putting on the match like he did in WrestleMania is what made the streak a big thing. Even without the streak, Taker can still sell because he's wrestling. Edge left with the win. Daniel Bryan is getting a second surgery. That's all over the internet. Cena is in desperate need of a character change. Make the guy a heel for crying out loud. I'm tired of the Super Cena character and the in NXT video. I would like to know your opinion about Daniel Bryan." Well, we agree on one thing. We are tired of seeing a Superman character. We are there 100% with you. I would personally like Daniel Bryan and was hoping that he still was champion, but again, he got hurt. It's the nature of the business. Hopefully, they got some guys in NXT that can step up like Nexus did, and Nexus Part 2 did, because you got Bray Wyatt in Nexus Part 2. But let me see, they got this Kenta guy, and they just re-signed somebody else. But I still don't like what they do. I forgot about him, Adam Rose. All that hype of he's coming, and all that hype after he got there.
Oh, they gave up on him, just like they gave up on both. Just like they gave up on
and you're not doing anything.
They gave up on both.
Bo Dallas was stupid. I didn't even hate that little. It looks like if I throw some shout music on there, that's what he does when he comes out. That's what he's doing. So, you know, maybe he'll feud with Jack Swagger or whatever, or something like that.
He came out, he was like,
you just got to believe. What is he, Michael Jackson? But hopefully they got some guys in NXT that can come out and start it up. I would love who would throw if they brought Kurt Angle back, because Kurt Angle did not re-sign in TNA. His contract is over.
He's trying to come back, but
if he came back, that will be the perfect guy to feud with Brock Lesnar. Because if you remember before, him and Brock had a great match. They just had it on the WWE Network about a month ago or 2 months ago. The feud between those guys. So again, if he comes back, total. That's who. And it keeps Roman Reigns in the building block process. It keeps Randy Orton, possibly whatever. Who cares about Cena? But if you bring back Kurt Angle, I would love to see that, because I think even though he's been in TNA longer than he's been in WWE, his beginning, his start, his claim to fame was WWE.
Oh yeah, Kurt Angle. He wants to come back. I would love to see Kurt Angle come back. For some reason, Vince doesn't want him. Vince is not really with it. He doesn't agree with it. So maybe, I don't know, a couple more times, Kurt, try your best to try and convince him. Do what you got to do, because we need you back in WWE. Like he said, Brock versus you and Brock again. People would love it. And matter of fact, I'm gonna just say something what he said about the Undertaker. I was on actually looking up some stuff about Undertaker yesterday, and Sting has said something about he doesn't need the streak for those two to have the match. It would just it would be a classic just to have those two go against each other anyway.
Again, that if you have the right guy to fight the Undertaker, I will concede that. If you have Sting, because Sting is a name, but Sting is old too. So, but I mean, as big as it is, again, it'll be like Hulk Hogan and The Rock. Hogan past his prime, Rock still in his prime, but it's still sold. So Sting and The Undertaker, whatever, they can go, who's the King of Darkness or whatever, throw Kane in the mix, throw Bray Wyatt in the mix or whatever. Matter of fact, I'll even say this. I would love to see The Undertaker feud with Bray Wyatt. I would love to see The Undertaker, if he did come back out of it, Bray Wyatt can get, but again, it all depends on Take's health. And again, one match with Brock Lesnar and you don't compete. He had the match with Triple H last year. Well, CM Punk, you didn't see him he did like 2 matches, got jumped by the Shield, and that was it. You know, before that, Triple H, he did 1 match, got jumped, that was it. Okay. Take is old, man. He can only do.
Let's be track.
He can only do 15 minutes.
Let's go back here. Okay. WrestleMania 25.
You better make that 15 minutes good.
WrestleMania 25 when he faced Shawn Michaels. Yeah, he was gone about a couple months.
Still great match.
WrestleMania 26 had a great match with Shawn Michaels.
Still great match.
Left for a couple of minutes. WrestleMania 27 with Triple H.
That wasn't as good as Shawn Michaels, but it was okay.
Good match. He left. Okay. 28 won the match. He left.
Great match.
29 he stayed for a little while.
He stayed a couple weeks because he got jumped by the Shield.
He was planning on coming back, but
he got hurt because he old.
Yeah, but he was planning on coming back to do a match with them at SummerSlam. With him and Kane gonna team up together to take on the Shield. But like you said, he's old. But he was planning on it, and it was gonna happen. It just didn't happen that way.
And Brock planned on staying in UFC if he didn't get his bell rung. If you look, again, there's a good saying out there: Father Time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. Eventually, it catches up with you. You can't do what you used to do because Father Time says, "Hey, nope, I'm gonna win. No matter how you fight, in the end, I'm gonna win." Take is fighting against Father Time, and Father Time has shown in WrestleMania that the match was what, 40 minutes? No, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Take had to go to the hospital. After every match, his body can't take it.
Okay.
Wrestling is a hard business, man, and
it is.
I would like to see him face Sting. I think it would good. I think Bray Wyatt would be better because Bray is just that typical thing that I would love to see him. So if it came up to Sting versus The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker, I'm gonna choose Bray Wyatt.
I'm gonna choose Bray Wyatt too. I think that'd be good, but we'll see. We'll just have to see. I mean, he's better. You know, he's working out, whatever, but he still hasn't ruled out coming back.
And you heard what Bray Wyatt said? I'm already dead. So he's already dead. He's in hell. He's gonna go get The Undertaker and bring him back. Come on back, man. So that's it for us right now. Adi, got any more questions, man? Hit us up. So for Stephen J and for Simply Steve, we're done talking about wrestling. Peace.